All right, good afternoon. Thank you so much for always keeping it TV47. It is time to be updated. TV47 at 1 begins right away with me, Linda Alela. I'll be taking you through the stories that we have compiled. And we start off with this particular one, where a section of Africa's most senior health officials have held a vital meeting with urgency in their voices and a crisis on their hands. Their concern stopping the devastating Ebola outbreak before it spreads further across the continent. And as Elizabeth Atieno now reports, African countries, especially those at the highest risk of dealing with Ebola virus disease, are now calling for concerted efforts to deal with the spread, even as they seek to have a common stand.
The ongoing Bundi-Bujo Ebola outbreak in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda has exposed weaknesses in Africa's public health systems, prompting an urgent meeting African Permanent and Principal Secretaries for Health Caucus, chaired by Kenya's Principal Secretary for Public Health and Professional Standards.
So the crucible of COVID-19, previous Ebola outbreaks, Mpox and cholera has forged a singular truth: no nation can build a fortress of health security alone.
And we have tried to consolidate all of these priority actions. And on top of the list, all the member states have asked strengthening of the borders. Another issue is the propositioning of supplies.
The virtual meeting brought together more than 60 health leaders from across Africa who acknowledged that infectious diseases do not respect borders. Discussions highlighted key challenges including weak surveillance systems, inadequate contact tracing, porous borders, and limited medical resources.
This pathogen is a brutal reminder that infectious disease threats recognize no borders, respect no sovereignty, and wait for no bureaucracy. And in our deeply interconnected internet, a fever in a border town today is a regional emergency tomorrow.
We have a modeling project where we are looking at utilizing machine learning on the estimations on probability of spillover. This guides our risk assessments and our forecast models.
Despite these challenges, leaders agreed on urgent measures to strengthen outbreak response. These include improving cross-border surveillance, enhancing laboratory capacity, protecting frontline health workers, boosting community engagement, and securing sustainable funding for preparedness efforts.
The issue of around capacity for isolation and management, and as you've seen, and also the protection of healthcare workers. You've seen we have a high number of infections among healthcare workers, both in Uganda, but also in DRC.
The meeting ended with a strong message that an Ebola outbreak in one country is a threat to the entire region. Leaders pledged to strengthen cooperation, improve information sharing, and enhance regional health security to prevent further spread of the disease. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
We appreciate that update, Elizabeth. Now, the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum is currently holding a briefing at Akawi Complex, where Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Ndai is addressing on the ongoing electricity tariff review. The briefing will shed light on the review process and its implications on electricity pricing for households, also businesses and industries across the country. Let's listen in.
You may let us know. You may give us the signal. But as you do so, let me introduce the team that is here. I'm sure you know Bwana Alex Wachira, the Principal Secretary for the State Department for Energy. To my right, we have Engineer Joseph Okech, the Acting Director General for EPRA. And to the extreme left is Engineer Siengo, the Acting CEO of KPLC. The Energy Act, both at Section 11 Section 165, subsection 3 and subsection 7, for your information. Any review of electricity tariffs is subject to a clear legal and regulatory process. This includes, first and foremost, the submission of an application for the review to EPRA, technical evaluation, stakeholder consultations, and public participation before any tariff adjustment can be considered or approved. And now, following the withdrawal of the application, the current retail electricity tariffs shall remain in force and unchanged unless otherwise lawfully reviewed in accordance with the Energy Act and applicable procedures. The withdrawal of the application does not in any way affect the continued delivery of electricity services. Consumers and businesses.
All right, we'll be giving you more updates as to that later on. And Kenya has hosted a critical financial summit driving regulatory changes for the country's development finance institutions. The Kenya Development Corporation and National Treasury convened the top financial leaders to build consensus on a dedicated regulatory framework. Cabinet Secretary John Badi emphasized that a coherent environment is essential to reinforce DFI credibility and attract long-term institutional capital currently operating without unified oversight. Now, the proposed four-pillar framework aims to strengthen governance, ensure financial soundness, and boost climate-resilient industrialization.
Institutional capital, domestic and institutional investment.
The regulatory framework gives you a broad boundary which does not have walls. It's like open air, two air masses meeting, they intermingle a bit. But control is when you don't want anything to move unless you say yes. So DG Kibet, my prayer is that in this process in which we are trying to get a regulatory framework, which of course indeed you can't let people double into this kind of public space without those broad frameworks, must not include control.
So DFIs exist to intervene where markets alone are unable to sufficiently support long-term national priorities. They provide financing where risks are high, capital tenors are long, returns may take time to materialize, and broader economic benefits extend beyond immediate commitment. So in many respects, DFIs finance the future before actually the markets have actually identified or recognized the opportunity.
All right, still on money matters, the Departmental Committee on Finance and National Planning is currently holding Finance Bill 2026 public participation exercise here in Nairobi. Members of public and stakeholders are currently making oral submissions and submitting written memoranda concerning this year's finance bill. Let's cross over to South Sea and listen in.
Asante. Hii imekuwa changamoto kubwa sana kwa sisi wote, kwa sababu wale wanabiashara ambao tuko nao wanatueleza tupe these exemptions tutaweza kupunguza bei. Wakishapata hizo exemptions inaenda kwa faida ya mifuko yao. Kwa hivyo hiyo ni changamoto ambayo tutaweka kwa ripoti yetu ya kwamba wale ambao tumewapunguzia ushuru, especially wanabiashara ama wale manufacturers, wahakikisha ya kwamba wametransfer hiyo benefits kwa wale consumers. Where are you here? Sasa wewe unasema type na uliongea. Sasa ule mtu mwenye anaweza toa, unajua katika standing order zetu kuna hoja ya muda ambao tunasema tumekubali, tumeongelea maneno haya kwa ukamilifu, na kwa hivyo tunaomba tufunge kikao. Lakini yule wa kutoa hiyo hoja hawezi kuwa ni yule aliongea. So kama kuna mwenye hajaongea atoe hoja hiyo, basi tutapiga kura kama tufunge kikao ama tuendelee. Lakini kama ulizungumza, hawezi kuwa wewe ndio unasema wengine wasizungumze kwa sababu.
All right, we compile a comprehensive piece on that later on. Our President William Ruto today received credentials from 4 newly appointed ambassadors at State House here in Nairobi, reaffirming Kenya's commitment to strengthening diplomatic relations and advancing multilateral cooperation. Now, the envoys accredited to Kenya are Luis Fernando Carranza Cifuentes of Guatemala, Salome Zulu Mola of South Africa, Anas Talib Ali Marafi of Kuwait, and Olivia Charlotte Owen of New Zealand. President Ruto noted that Kenya's growing global profile comes at a time where it's defining for the international cooperation and diplomacy. He emphasized that the country will continue expanding, strengthening its diplomatic networks across the world, that is to promote shared interests, mutual benefit, economic growth and prosperity. The presentation of credentials marks the official commencement of the envoys' diplomatic missions in Kenya and underscores the country's enduring engagement with the international community.
And I look forward to working with you. President Ramaphosa is anticipating the honor of welcoming you and your distinguished delegation, and also extending the warm and gracious hospitality of the government and the people of the Republic of South Africa. Now I have the honor to present to Your Excellency the credentials by which His Highness Sheikh Mish'al Al-Ahmed Al-Jaber Al-Sabah, the Emir of State of Kuwait, and has appointed me to be Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of the State of Kuwait in the Republic of Kenya.
I look forward to working closely with your government and Kenyan stakeholders to expand cooperation, strengthen understanding, and build lasting connections between our peoples. Asante sana, namahinui, thank you.
And Kisii County has launched a massive agricultural project now distributing free premium coffee seedlings directly to local smallholder farmers. Kisii Governor Simba Arati flagged off 100,000 Riru 11 seedlings at the Kisii Agricultural Training Center to enhance crop production. He urged farmers to adopt good agricultural practices for maximum yields, noting that a new caffeine extraction factory is already secured and will set up at Bomachoge, Borabu.
Coffee seedlings to our farmers is a promise I gave to the residents of Kisii County, and it has come to fulfillations. Therefore, I'm an happy man this morning, or this afternoon, to see that what I promised my people, it has come to pass. The seeds that we are giving out is really 11, which does very well. I'm told one plant does 5 kgs per season, not per year, per season. Therefore, we are looking forward to improve the lives of our people, to put money into their pockets. I've decided that I'll force my farmers to put money into their pockets. This is what I'm doing with the coffee, avocado, banana, value chain, and other many things that I'm doing to my people.
Clean energy programs in counties continue to face setbacks due to inadequate funding, slowing the adoption of environmentally friendly technologies at the grassroots levels. Now, stakeholders are calling on county governments to increase budget allocations for clean cooking and solar energy initiatives, that is to expand access to sustainable energy solutions. The appeal was made during the closing ceremony of a 3-week training program that equipped 402 women energy entrepreneurs from Embu, Meru and Tharaka Nithi counties with skills, that is to grow their businesses. The Tharaka Nithi Deputy Governor Wilson Ndereba acknowledged that limited financial resources have constrained investments in the sector, but expressed confidence that future county budgets will prioritize clean energy programs.
To be discussed.
For energy now, we have set aside a budget. And here with me in Rakanidi, I have the CCM for energy. And we also Embu and the director from Meru. I know when we sit in the cabinet, we already done those allocations. I'm hoping that in future, there will be no challenges of the finances.
So we need support from the county government to ensure that they have budget, because that is another key gap that we've realized. They have a deficit when it comes to budget, especially on matters to do with energy. So we really need the county government and other key sector players to support these entrepreneurs.
They have empowered women and men alike, because there is 30% of men who have been empowered through this program. And when they presented the end result, you could see now households, women are able to do their purchases without problem.
Tukiingia sasa kwa budget mzuri, tutaweza ku reach many more end users kama mimi mwenyewe. Na tukianza kutumia zile vitu ziko available to us, we make also production cheaper, and therefore the goods that we sell zinaweza kufikia kila mtu.
All right, we take a quick short break. TV47 at 1. We still have more lined up for you, so don't you go anywhere. We're back with that.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m.
Good morning.
You have my rent?
Leo jioni kama tutakuwa tumelipa rent, nauza hii simu yako.
Hamna pesa. I need 3 G's to make my nails today.
Sasa hivi natuhusu aje?
Can I order now? Do you ship? Can I get blinking ones?
Mimi nilikuwa na trade. Nimeekelea kitele yangu. Kitele yangu na trade. Ikikunywa maji.
Oh my God. You left me.
Nitumie ni line. Uko nje kuna wifi.
Why? Hi-Fi?
Wait, so what do we call this dish again?
I have no idea.
The cucumbers are there specifically for my beauty routine.
Tamulini kero umeka kwa beauty product.
Na ameenda.
Tunafaa tukuwe na logo yetu. Like, si ni brand already.
You won't entertain divas. No. I'm not dealing with a man child.
Amazing. Nishapenda hii energy.
Sundays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47. Saturday at 8:30 p.m.
My father used to tell me that our hotel is the home for travelers. I guess I forgot that. Recently, it's been more of a mirror of my own ambition. Booyah! We might fail. We will probably fail.
Wednesdays at 8:30 p.m. on TV47.
Well, Sheng, thank you for choosing to stay with us. Now, End Ward MCA Festus Kirop has officially been sworn into office following his victory in the recent by-election, pledging to fast-track development projects across the ward. Kirop, whose ward had endured years of insecurity caused by banditry, has committed to accelerate development initiatives before the next general election. He noted that the improved peace and stability in the area have created a conducive environment for growth as well as development. The MCA assured residents that he will work closely with both county and national leaders to mobilize more resources and enhance service delivery.
In my first assembly, 2013-2017, the serious challenge that I faced, and that one even contributed to my exit, was the issues of insecurity, banditry in Kerio Valley. But today, I want to stand here and thank His Excellency the President, Dr. William Ruto, and our able CS, Honorable Onesmus Kipchumba Murkomen. Those two gentlemen have transformed the Kerio Valley. Today, we can never, you cannot hear a gunshot in Kerio Valley. All guns, all illicit firearms have been collected. People have even surrendered voluntarily. We are enjoying peace today in Kerio Valley.
And Trans Nzoia Governor George Natembeya has sounded an alarm over what he describes as a looming crisis in school accommodation. The governor has warned that overcrowded dormitories are putting thousands of students at risk and could worsen the impact of emergencies. He is now calling for a nationwide audit of boarding facilities and calling for resources to be redirected towards the construction of modern dormitories to enhance learner safety.
Fanya kule utumishi Gilgil, kama ingekuwa hapa St. Joseph's, watoto wangekufa in their thousands. Maana ukienda St. Joseph's, vitanda inaanzia kwa mlango na imeshikana hivi, hakuna mahali mtoto anaweza kupitia, na wanalala watoto 36 kwa kiubiko moja. Yule analala ile ya kwanza huko kwenda kitanda yake, anafly, anapanda kwa hizi, anatoa viatu kwa mlango, anafly juu, anaenda kwa yake kule mwisho. Sasa hiyo shule kishika moto, watu yangu niambieni kitafanyika hapo. Is a disaster waiting to happen.
The Kwale County government is in partnership with research institutions and development organizations is promoting improved seaweed farming varieties aimed at increasing production and enhancing the livelihoods of coastal communities. Speaking during a stakeholders meeting in Diani County, the executive committee member of Agriculture and Fisheries, Roman Shera, said the initiative will help increase seaweed production and create more economic opportunities for women and youth. Stakeholders say improved farming techniques and research-backed seaweed varieties will help unlock the country's blue economy potential.
Kwa mfano ile variety yetu ambayo tunaikuza katika kaunti ya Kwale inaitwa Spinosam, ambayo ni it's a low value variety, na tumeweka mikakati ile tuweze kuintroduce ile high value variety ambayo inaitwa Cotonie, ili wakulima wetu waweze kupata mazao mengi na waweze kupata pesa nzuri zaidi katika kilimo cha mwani.
Tuliona kwa utafiti kama wakina mama na vijana wako wengi sana kwa huu mnyororo wa thamani wa samaki, ili wanafanya zile kazi za chini huko na hawapati kipato kizuri. And so this program is here to uplift the participation of women and youth.
Waingie katika value chain tofauti kama kufanya hizo value added products, kuuza, kupeleka mazao sokoni, kutengeza mazao tofauti kama sabuni za kuoga. Sasa tunaona wakati hivi ilivyofikia, mwani unasaidia zaidi ya wanawake.
Kulingana na sheria zetu, mwani ni samaki, na mwani ni mti ambao unakuwa kule baharini na uko na faida nyingi, sababu mwani ni kama unarejesha hali nzuri ya mazingira.
Kiambu County has introduced telemedicine surgery, linking hospitals through digital technology to enable real-time collaboration between surgeons locally and abroad. The Governor, Kimani Wamatangi, witnessed the county's first telemedicine surgery at Kiambu Level 5 Hospital using the Proximi platform. A cesarean section was streamed live, connecting doctors at Kiambu and Thika Level 5 hospitals with specialists in the United Kingdom in real time. The platform enables hospitals to collaborate during procedures, share expertise, and enhance medical training, helping improve healthcare delivery across facilities.
And I want to congratulate you too. This is a wonderful moment for the people of Kiambu and for our residents especially. the mothers who come to give birth in Kiambu who require cesarean section and other surgeries.
Someone in London watched the video and how this will help us as Kiambu Level 5. This will improve the quality of care that we give to Kiambu residents by increasing the skill level of all our surgeons, all our technicians. We can learn from this platform.
The patient we had today was a very complex patient with a lot of complications. So one of the other advantages is in case you're a junior or less experienced member of staff performing the surgery, you're able to also consult with perhaps doctors in other facilities, and you can get guidance through the system, and you're able to understand instructions that are being guided from another place.
All right, 4 years after the demolition of homes and businesses on the Portland Cement farm in Mavuko, that affected residents are now calling upon or appealing to the president to help them acquire alternative land or secure title deeds. The residents say more than 5,000 landowners were rendered homeless and lost their sources of livelihoods following the demolitions. They claim many families have since slipped into poverty, while others continue grappling with psychological distress and disrupted education for their children. Led by their chairperson, Alphonse Kisula, the residents are now calling on the president to intervene and help them rebuild their lives.
Kupitia kwa rais wetu mpendwa, tunaweza kupata kitu. Hatuitishi shamba yote, lakini atuangalie kasehemu kamoja ambako tunaweza kukaa. Sisi sio watu wa mtu, sisi ni watu wa serikali ya Kenya, na tunajua rais wetu ni mmoja, anaitwa William Ruto.
Tunaomba kabisa rais yetu asaidie sisi, arudishie shamba yetu pamoja na barua yake, kwa sababu hiyo shamba tumepata kitambo sana huko. Wakati ya mzee Kibaki ndio ilikuwa tumepata hiyo shamba na tumeingiza mali nyingi sana. Hiyo tu.
Vile tokea tubomolewe rais wetu, mimi nimehangaika kwa miaka 3 na hata sina makao, watoto hawaendi shule. Wataenda shule vipi? Kwa sababu hawana mahali pa kwenda na kurudi. Kwa hivyo sisi tumekuwa watu wa
Expectant mothers in remote areas of Kajiado County can now access a safe and dignified deliveries closer to home at a new hospital facility. The local women previously faced dangerous home births due to traveling long distances for basic care. And now the launch of the modern 11-bed wing introduces specialized newborn services and an operating theater to protect infants. This life-saving maternal health project was successfully completed through a collaborative partnership between the Kajiado County government and the M-Pesa Foundation.
Tumepata hospitali kubwa ambayo iko na bidhaa mingi, kuna theater na tuko na madaktari wetu ambayo wamejitolea vizuri sana. Kwa hivyo tunashukuru Mungu, maana hakika tumefaidika kama wamama wa Kimasai.
Na sisi kama community board ya hospitali tunashirikiana na community kuhamasisha wamama kuja kujifungulia hospitali.
The happiness drawn on your faces tell me that this is a new dawn in your lives, a new chapter in your lives where women and our children do not lose lives as a result of childbirth.
A group of women activists in Kisumu County has continued to urge the national government to allocate adequate funding to address the rising cases of femicide across the country. Speaking in Kisumu, the activists, led by Kifiadu Executive Director Esther Achieng and Maxi Daniels, expressed a concern over the increasing number of women being killed in different parts of Kenya. The leaders said women should be free to make their own choices without fear of intimidation, violence, or discrimination.
One of the things we are saying we are tired of everyday cases of women and girls being killed just because they are women and girls. On Madaraka Day, we talk about the issues of freedom. Freedom to live, freedom to be able to be who you are, and wherever you are not supposed to be killed. So right now we are saying, can the president ensure that the implementation of the task force report is done in total? Can we get the money? Can we get the resources? And can we get the legal systems which protect women and girls wherever they are? And femicide now.
all the way from the days of Onyancha, we have been talking about the issues around femicide over and over again. The task force was put together to ensure that we are able to investigate the issues around femicide, but we feel like there is nothing being done. Recommendations were put in place, but there is absolutely no allocation specifically being done for this particular work. So today we say, end femicide now. We say, end femicide now. Thank you.
All right, and to sports, last but not least, the Kenya under-21 deaf basketball team has departed for Poland ahead of the 2026 World Deaf Basketball Championships, set to run from June the 5th to 13th, with high hopes of making an impact on the global stage. After months of intensive training and preparation, the talented squad is eager to test itself against the world's best while flying Kenya's flag high and showcasing the growing strength of deaf sports in the country. Okay, we roll it up at that very point, roll it off, whichever way you want to look at it. I'll still be working on more stories so that we can disseminate it for you at around 4 p.m. So make sure that you keep it TV47. My name is Linda Alela. We close the TV47 at 1 on this very point.